Okay, cool.
Can I go to the bathroom, please?
Of course. Yes, thank you for letting me know. All right.
Thank you.
All right, next trick. Really important trick. I'm always amazed of how few people know this, okay? Okay? All right. So here's what you're going to do. Let me first talk about what relatively prime means, because if you don't even understand what that means, it just becomes like nonsense. So if I took the number 12, right? And I wrote all the numbers below 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Relatively prime means that number and itself, that number in 12 cannot be divided by some same number. Okay. Now, 1 is always relatively prime. Okay. It's automatically relatively prime. Okay. Now, 2 is not relatively prime with 12 because it can both be divided by 2. So 2 is out. 3 is not relatively prime because they can both be divided by 3. So it's out. 4 is not because they can both be divided by 2 or 4. It's out. 5 is relatively prime because the only number you can divide 12 and 5 by is 1. So that's in. 6 is no because 2 and 3. 7 is yes. What about 8? Yes or no, guys?
No.
What about 9?
No.
Both be divided by 3, so no. 10 is no, 11 is yes, and 12 obviously is no. So look how many it has. It has 4 numbers that are relatively prime. Wow, I'm spelling. My pen's getting bad. So you got 4 numbers that are relatively prime. Okay? Okay. You could sit there with the small number and just count them, but there's a much better way to do this. Okay? Now watch what I'm about to do. I'm going to take 12. I'm going to multiply it by the prime factorization of this number. Okay? The prime factorization of this number is 2 to the second, 3 to the first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the prime numbers and I'm going to write them here. Okay? And then this is the weird part. We're going to put 1 less on top. So 2 becomes 1 and 3 becomes 2. Now let me explain to you what this is doing. Okay? This is the weird part. Tell me if this makes sense to you, what I'm about to explain. We're multiplying by a half because what we're saying is if 1/2 of all the numbers in the universe are multiples of 2, then that means 1/2 of all the numbers in the universe are not multiples of 2. If half the numbers are even, then a half of the numbers are not even. So this means this 1/2 represents not a multiple of 2. Anybody want to take a shot what this 2/3 means?
Can I?
Yeah, go for it.
Because 1/3 of all the numbers are divisible by 3, then 2/3 are not.
Good. Are not multiples of 3. That's exactly what we're doing. 2/3 represents not a multiple of 3. Right? 1/3 of all the numbers are multiples of 3, so 2/3 of the numbers are not multiples of 3. And that's all you do. So you take the prime factorization, right? 12 times, you put 2 and a 3 here, and then you just put 1 less there. So what's half of 12? 6. What's 2/3 of 6? 4. 4 numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 numbers. That's it. So let's do 20. Ready? So I'm going to do 20. So what am I going to do? I first have to figure out what prime numbers are in 20. Well, 2s and 5s. So I put a 2 here, I put a 5 here. This is hard because I have to do this in my head. So this becomes 1 and this becomes 4, right? Because half of the numbers are not multiples of 2 and 4/5 of the numbers are not multiples of 5. Half of 20 is 10, right? So this 10 times 4/5. 4/5 of 10 is 8. So there's 8 numbers. All right, let me do it again. 72. 72 is going to get multiplied by, 72 is made up of 2s and 3s, right? Put 1 less. Half of 72 is 36. 2/3 of 36 is 24. Yay. Math easy. Okay? Now listen, if they say how many fractions can you write that are simplified with n over something over 12, that's the same thing as saying relatively prime, right? 1/12 is simplified. 5/12 is simplified. 7/12 is simplified. And 11/12 is simplified.